Yeah, I think the logos because people actually now start looking at faces.
No faces. Okay. Okay. Okay.
There. So it's not clear why. Why it's not clear.
Design from designer, the resolution for
Social media.
Because I mean, there's some, this is the intro, right? What does know what? What does the slide do?
Yeah. It's not clear, even from
And here we do it. So, possibility.
Although later on, before it's
There's an agenda.
No. No, no.
yeah, no, like,
Yeah. Agenda.
Yeah, and then
Session.
and the speakers.
Like,
there's no agenda.
Good morning. Welcome to the third edition of Catalyzing Conversations, Endeavor Nigeria's annual Scale Up Entrepreneurship Summit. My name is Tosin Fanirodade. Good morning. Welcome to the third edition of Catalyzing Conversations, Endeavor Nigeria's annual Scale Up Entrepreneurship Summit. My name is Tosin Fanirodade, Managing Director and CEO of Endeavor Nigeria, and I am really excited to have you here with us today. Our aim for Catalyzing Conversations is to spread the mission of high-impact entrepreneurship, illustrating why entrepreneurs who dream big scale up critical for long-term economic transformation. By driving a culture of entrepreneurial leadership and inspiring a generation of high-impact entrepreneurs, Conversations is to spread the mission of high-impact entrepreneurship, illustrating why entrepreneurs who dream big, scale up, and pay it forward are critical for long-term economic transformation. By driving a culture of entrepreneurial leadership and inspiring a generation of high-impact entrepreneurs, we hope to catalyze the powerful multiplier effects that shift economies from the ground up. Due to the pandemic, we've had to make this year's event a virtual one. Still, we have put together an immersive experience and convened some of the boldest and most exciting entrepreneurs from Europe, South America, Asia, and Africa to discuss and expand on a wide range of topics important to boosting socioeconomic transformation. This year's summit theme is the multiplier effect. Since we made the announcement a few weeks ago, several people have asked me, what do you mean by the multiplier effect, and how does it apply to the tech ecosystem in Nigeria? I will explain what the multiplier effect is shortly. But before I do so, I would like to take you through the thinking that inspired this year's theme. Those of you who are familiar with Silicon Valley would have heard of the PayPal Mafia, a group of former PayPal employees who worked at the global payment giant at various stages before founding some of the biggest technology companies in the world. The PayPal Mafia includes Elon Musk, founder of Tesla, SpaceX, and other companies, Steve Chen and Chad Hurley, co-founders of YouTube, Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, and many other founders and investors who played critical roles in the Silicon Valley ecosystem. Many argue that PayPal served as an incubator for the ideas that developed into these billion-dollar companies. The learning and growth that happened at PayPal were critical to the success of these founders. So far, the PayPal Mafia has created 7 unicorns, contributed billions of dollars to the global economy, and created thousands of jobs. I think it is fair to say that the achievements of the PayPal Mafia are an excellent example of high-impact entrepreneurship. They are transformational leaders that have inspired the next generation of entrepreneurs to dream big and have reinvested their time and money to help others take off. As Nigeria's technology ecosystem develops, we need to catalyze high-impact entrepreneurship similar to the PayPal Mafia to drive long-term economic growth and transformation. We are at the dawn of a new age of innovation in Nigeria and across the African continent. entrepreneurs are emerging with tech-enabled solutions for a wide range of pain points. The fragmentation, informality, and non-consumption that is widespread across the continent have made many sectors ripe for disruption, and our entrepreneurs are rising to the challenge. Nigerian fintech companies like Carbon and Flutterwave, led by Endeavor entrepreneurs, continue to dominate the headlines with exciting and fresh innovation stories. We're also seeing stories from e-commerce, retail, healthcare, and automotive from companies like 54 Gene, Trade Depot, Helium Health, Cobo 360, Filmhouse Group, AutoCheck, and other companies in the Endeavor network. As more success stories emerge, we must catalyze the multiplier effect and seek every possible avenue to maximize the opportunity we have in front of us. So, what exactly is the multiplier effect? The multiplier effect is the economic cycle of a booming market. It occurs when innovation increases, creating a domino effect of developments that multiplies the impact of the initial innovation and ultimately creates new opportunities for a wide range of people. Industry research also supports the impact of the multiplier effect. According to a recent study by Endeavor Insights, founders who had previously worked at organizations that successfully scaled were more likely to scale their own companies. Employees at successful entrepreneurial organizations benefit from intellectual and social capital, including knowledge of specific technologies, company organizational practices, and access to professional and peer networks. The employees who then start their own companies are imprinted with this knowledge, which can help them scale and replicate the success they experienced. We are beginning to see the green shoots of the multiplier effect in our tech ecosystem. Former employees of IntoSwitch, for example, have built companies like Team Apt, OnePipe, WeMove, and many other exciting companies. We want to see this incubation model replicated and encourage our entrepreneurs to dream big, scale up, and pay it forward. So, how do we make the multiplier effect work for us? Here are 3 quick steps to get us started. Number 1, we have to be clear on our why. We can all agree that there's much work to be done to drive the progress we want to see in Nigeria. But without a clear definition of where we want to go and why it is important to get there, there is a risk that the desired destination may end up being no more than a pipe dream. Business is often a mix of competing priorities, and without clarity on what is important, we may end up going around in circles, and there is no time for that. Number 2, we have to prioritize long-term value creation. It can be easy to only see the challenges and opportunities in front of us today. Still, to deliver sustainable economic transformation, we have to build with the future in mind. By leveraging data and technology and learning from past experiences, we can position ourselves to develop solutions that will serve us well in the future. Number 3, we have to bring people on the journey with us. As the famous saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. One person or organization cannot do everything needed, and we all have to play our part in making the progress we want to see. We must be intentional about bringing people on this journey with us. This can be our unique way of paying it forward and planting seeds in people and communities that will develop into more success stories in the years to come. There is so much more to say about how we can catalyze the multiplier effect to our advantage, but I will leave that to our incredible speakers who will be sharing their experiences and insights soon. Thank you again for joining us, and I hope you have a great time at today's event.
That is default. Even for the panel.
What do you have?
My question is, where is my question? How could I believe in the panel?
Yeah, so full screen, open a screen. So let's see that.
So when we're doing
I can't find it.
Let me see what's going on. Where's your other laptop? Where's your work laptop?
My work now.
Where is it? Where is it? Where's the link?
Sorry, it's on my email. I guess everyone was just tired.
I saw it. I was like, I can't believe it. He was drinking. He was not at work there. He did. Yeah.
I felt bad for Prue when you said. To the right, to the left, Prue like.
The app should be updated.
No, just to the right slightly. Just one tilted. I said, oh God.
Did you see this part? Did they wake him up?
No.
Add it to your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to add teleprompter manager. Yeah.
Are we on?
Now,
I know.
I know. Joy. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Battery is low. What's the charger? It's this one. Charger is low. So is there anything else from last year during the sessions, like what were the feedback that came from the participants? Yes, maybe I should just talk about the team assignment for tomorrow. So GE will be the timekeeper tomorrow. Leia and Obina will man the WhatsApp groups, reminding the speakers to join in 15 minutes to the session. I'll just do the groups. I'll just do the groups to remind them to join in, and then checking Zoom as well to know if they have joined in. Yeah, who has joined and who has not, so you know who to remind. Then media will be taking, so since the anchors won't get live Q&A, right? So when attendees sending their Q&As on actual events, so media will take the Q&A to Zoom for the moderators during the sessions, and also help Furo get end of session summaries that she would talk about at the end of the event. Then Ridwan will be doing the live repost from Ventures Africa and Tech About. Jose will be the chair. Okay, yes. Okay, cool. Okay. Give me. Give me. No, the pen, the pen.
Yeah.
And YouTube. Yeah, that's it. Is there anything else?
Newspapers.
Yeah, we have, where's my phone? We have some that are already out today.
It's 29.
Thank you very much. Without buying followers. I told her 8:41 now. So the what?
Oh, yeah.
Who posted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They altered the things.
Okay. So I can't do anything.
Then you saw the tech about BB thing. Yeah, they did it.
Tell me why. Tell me how BB talks about scale up. I mean, last week you're asking us what scale up.
I sent him a briefing document that he read before.
So they sent it today.
Yeah. Okay, have a look. Yeah, newsletter. The deal of art.
Yes, yeah.
What did you say? I don't know where I heard. I don't know the deal of art in my head. I said the deal of art myself. The point is fiction, the main article. Like it's a full piece.
No, but I mean, in the newsletter.
They do that. They use the means like expected, unexpected.
Okay.
Hi. Your class ends today. Oh,
Congratulations.
congrats. Wait, has it ended? Oh, congrats. So that kid should have been happy birthday, be not slash congrats. Before we leave, after all the things. Yeah. So yeah. No, yes. I did. Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I'll confirm all of that from Grace today. That's tonight. Yeah. So they asked her to pay for the flight and remember.
Lost that. Right on that thing.
You have a thing on this laptop. So you can join from this thing instead.
That's one way, right?
That's even like cheapest of that. They had some discount one for the sold out.
Yeah, because I've had this already after 2 days, like last. One way was
So from the browser.
sooner than come back. I said, no, I'm very about spending 2 days to go for 2 days.
One way on this one, something coming back.
Maybe because of the proximity, because I booked for November, no, for and it's like 20 something, it's 28. So, yeah, and then coming back in December. No, not in 12. Yes.
Yeah. Because I was worried that because
Have you started this? Oh, that's enough. And the image that it's like Amal is ready, right?
right.
Yeah.
And so because I've seen this.
I didn't see other people like say, apart from like personal like individuals. I've not been on my phone for a while.
On the back,
We're not.
What had you got to do? Saw them saying,
Yeah, we made it, and so like to announce the cancellation of Cc as well. They were,
they do benchmark now. People are not saying
They had what? Mm. By this time tomorrow,
no, there's traffic.
would have finished some things. It's just a bit. So So that was what I put coming out, but a lot of people went through it trying to avoid the toll gate, so it was a mess. I had to turn.
When I saw what was going on,
Yeah,
turned
fine.
around,
I did.
So, do I want to do this walk? And how many walk?
So the link is, like I said, it up till 7 p.m. That's the Zoom and actual events on YouTube. So the stream is going to go until 7 p.m. So it's just for to keep running, like for us to like do that one. We can do it twice or maybe 3 times before
Let's try and finish
the end of, yeah. Yep. So,
Okay.
Maybe if let me check. Let's see. What's your view? This is Zoom, right?
Mm-hmm. Your network bandwidth is low.
Mine.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to connect to the MTN, but I can't find the MTN.
You can't even take the screenshots.
What? Oh, you want to take a screenshot?
Yeah. Not facility event. You can do what you're doing for this. What's it called now? This guy's main one.
Good morning and welcome to Catalyzing Conversations 2021. The theme for this year's event is the multiplier effect. I am Flora Piatti, an entrepreneur selection and growth manager at Endeavor Nigeria. The hashtag for today's events are hashtag Catalyzing Conversations or hashtag CC 2021. And our social media handle is at Endeavor Nigeria. Catalyzing Conversations 2021 is Endeavor is what? Something is wrong. Catalyzing Conversations 2021 is the third edition of Endeavor Nigeria's annual Scale Up Entrepreneurship Summit. Endeavor is a global organization leading the high impact entrepreneurship movement to drive economic growth and job creation. We select, mentor, and accelerate high impact entrepreneurs around the world. To date, Endeavor has over 2,100 founders leading over 1,000 scale-up companies. These companies generated over $28 billion in revenue last year and have created over 4.1 million jobs globally. Endeavor is currently present in 40 markets around the world. Endeavor was launched in Nigeria in February 2018 and currently supports 24 high-impact entrepreneurs leading 13 scale-up companies. They are Paga, Teamapt, Flutter Rave, 54 Gene, Filmhouse Group, Helium Health, Carbon, Cover 360, Trade Depot, Daystar Power, Migo, and AutoCheck. For today's summit, we have an exciting lineup of speakers. On the agenda, we have a keynote address, 4 fireside chats, 3 TED-style talks, and closing remarks from the chairman of the Endeavor Nigeria board. Before we start the first session, I'll spend the next few minutes walking you through our broadcast platform for today, Excel Events. For additional information, please look at the digital brochure you received via email. For the best experience of today's summit, please use the Chrome browser on a mobile phone or computer. This, where we are now, is the main stage for today's events. All sessions will be held here. On your screen, you should see 3 tabs on your left. The tabs are Main Stage, Expo Booths, and People. The main stage, as mentioned previously, is where all fireside chats and TED-style talks will be held. Using the Expo Booths tab, you can view content from our sponsors, Chapel Hill Denham, Stanbic IBTC Holdings, and VFD Group. The People tab can be used for networking. You can connect with people and have private conversations. On your right, we will be using the chat and Q&A tabs. We'll be using the chat and Q&A tabs. The chat tab is where you will see all important notifications from the Endeavor team. Please use the Q&A tab to send questions to the speakers during the fireside chats. Today's events will run until about 3 p.m. At the end of the summit, you will receive a 1-minute survey to get your feedback on today's events. Now, to get us started, we will watch a short video highlighting some of the inspiring achievements by our entrepreneurs in 2020. A truly inspiring video. Now, to set the tone for today's event, we will now listen to a welcome address by Tosin Fanirodada, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Endeavor Nigeria.
Good morning. Welcome to the third edition of Catalyzing Conversations, Endeavor Nigeria's annual Scale Up Entrepreneurship Summit. My name is Tosin Fanirodada, Managing Director and CEO of Endeavor Nigeria, and I am really excited to have you here with us today. Our aim for Catalyzing Conversations is to spread the mission of high-impact entrepreneurship, illustrating why entrepreneurs who dream big, scale up, and pay it forward are critical for long-term economic transformation. By driving a culture of entrepreneurial leadership and inspiring a generation of high-impact entrepreneurs, we hope to catalyze the powerful multiplier effects that shift economies from the ground up. Due to the pandemic, we've had to make this year's event a virtual one. Still, we have put together an immersive experience and convened some of the boldest and most exciting entrepreneurs from Europe, South America, Asia, and Africa to discuss and expand on a wide range of topics important to boosting socioeconomic transformation. This year's summit theme is the multiplier effect. What do you mean by the multiplier effect, and how and round up. PayPal served as an incubator for the ideas that developed into these billion-dollar companies. The learning and growth that happened at PayPal were critical to the success of these founders. So far, the PayPal Mafia has created 7 unicorns, contributed billions of dollars to the global economy, and created thousands of jobs. I think it is fair to say that the achievements of the PayPal Mafia are an excellent example of high-impact entrepreneurship. They are transformational leaders that have inspired the next generation of entrepreneurs to dream big and have reinvested their time and money to help others take off. As Nigeria's technology ecosystem develops, we need to catalyze high-impact entrepreneurship similar to the PayPal Mafia to drive long-term economic growth and transformation. We are at the dawn of a new age of innovation in Nigeria and across the African continent. Entrepreneurs
You see how that will happen on YouTube.
Thank you, Tosin, for setting the tone for Catalyzing Conversations 2021. The multiplier, as mentioned, the multiplier effect can create a domino effect of development that multiplies and impacts economies. This speaks directly to the work that we do at Endeavor, where we encourage entrepreneurs to dream big, scale up, and pay it forward to drive long-term economic growth and transformation. Now, to get insights of the multiplier effect in action, we will start our first fireside chat for today. This session will be a conversation between Ife Ayodele, the co-founder and chief growth officer of Kobo 360, Gaurav Biswas, the founder and chief executive officer of Trucker, and Andriata Muforo, a partner at TLCom Capital. They will be having a conversation on the topic, the transformational power of technology, creating value in the logistics and supply chain ecosystem. It is interesting to note that Ife and Gaurav are both Endeavor entrepreneurs. Ife drives growth at Kobo, a global e-logistics technology platform connecting and advancing cargo across Africa and beyond. Gaurav leads Trucker, a digital freight network that integrates demand and supply for land freight services. Trucker was founded in the UAE and serves the Middle East and Northern African regions. Andriata leads investment in early to growth stage tech-enabled businesses in Africa at TLCom. Andriata is an Endeavor mentor and also serves as a board member on a number of Endeavor-led companies or companies led by Endeavor entrepreneurs. Damn. Over to you, Andriata. I will not say damn on the day.
Hi, Obina. Please tell Midi to join. I sent the link to his email. Also, Obina, turn on your camera.
Let me try to switch to my test. Here.
Yes. Are you playing? Hey, Gaurav. Hey, what's the other person? Ife.
Thank you. Thank you, Ife, Gaurav, and Andriata for the conversation. Some useful insights have been given on logistic ecosystem, yada, 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 yada. Thank you again for your time and sharing your insights. Next on the agenda is our first TED Style talk for today by Tito Ovia. the co-founder and head of public sector growth of Helium Health. Helium Health is on a mission to accelerate Africa's transition to a technology and data-driven healthcare sector. Tito is an Endeavor entrepreneur, and she will be sharing on the topic how technology can close Africa's healthcare gap. The video will start shortly. If you missed the keynote address at the start of the event, all videos from today's event will be available on our YouTube channel, Endeavor Nigeria, after the event.
You have to stop sharing. As a media host, I can't share. I can't write up over your sharing thing.
Hello, my name is Cc Oct, and I am the co-founder and head of public sector growth at Helium Health. We are a fast-growing health tech company out of Nigeria that is using technology to bridge the healthcare gap across Africa and emerging markets. African healthcare is in a delicate situation. Throughout the continent, there are more locally born physicians residing outside their countries than in them. It costs us between $20,000 and $60,000 over a 7-year period to train a medical doctor. Over the last decade, the brain drain has cost us an additional $2 billion. Never mind medical tourism that costs a country like Nigeria $1 billion a year. All this means is that you and I have to suffer through poor healthcare services. How can we fix this? What can we do about it? To answer these questions, we need to take a detour through history. The only reason you and I exist today is because throughout history, we have used technology to improve how we take care of our bodies. Our life expectancy has gone from 30 years in the 1900s to 70 years today. Think about it. In 1796, Edward Jenner created the first vaccine for the smallpox virus. Today, the world is relying on COVID-19 vaccines, a product of 225 years of technological evolution to regain some sort of normal. Hello, my name is Cc Oct, and I am the co-founder and head of public sector growth at Helium Health. We are a fast-growing health tech company out of Nigeria that is using technology to bridge the healthcare gap across Africa and emerging markets. African healthcare is in a delicate situation. Throughout the continent, there are more locally born physicians residing outside their countries than in them. It costs us between $20,000 and $60,000 over a 7-year period to train a medical doctor. Over the last decade, the brain drain has cost us an additional $2 billion. Never mind medical tourism that costs a country like Nigeria $1 billion a year. All this means is that you and I have to suffer through poor healthcare services. How can we fix this? What can we do about it? To answer these questions, we need to take a detour through history. The only reason you and I exist today is because throughout history, we have used technology to improve how we take care of our bodies. Our life expectancy has gone from 30 years in the 1900s to 70 years today. Think about it. In 1796, Edward Jenner created the first vaccine for the smallpox virus. Today, the world is relying on COVID-19 vaccines, a product of 225 years of technological evolution to regain some sort of normalcy. In 1895, the X-ray machine was invented. In 1957, the first wearable pacemaker was developed, and a year later, we found a way to implant the pacemaker in the human body. I have no doubt we would not be here today without all these technological advancements in healthcare. Let me use a more recent example to contrast just how far health technology has brought us. In 1918, the influenza pandemic wrought havoc over the world in a similar way COVID-19 has. There was no telemedicine, so seeing a doctor put you at such high risk of contracting the virus. There was no Zoom or Google Meet, so definitely no working from home. About 500 million people, or a third of the world's population then, became infected with the virus between 1918 and 1919. The number of deaths was estimated to be at least 50 million people worldwide. With the help of technology, we have so far been able to prevent a repeat of the terrible, terrible disaster of 1918. Think about all of the COVID-19 trackers developed by Apple and Google that the North American governments have relied on to let their citizens know if they had come into contact with anybody who had tested positive for COVID. In Singapore, the government developed a system called Trace Together that did the same thing. In Ghana, the government used data-driven technology and commissioned a tracker app that relied on metadata behind people's phones. In Nigeria, Helium Health helped the government develop one of the most aggressive travel testing portals in the world to limit the importation of COVID-19. Even with all these rapid technological advancements,
Wow. Thanks, Tito, for the insightful video. The highlights for me was, while Africa's healthcare sector is in a delicate situation, there's an opportunity for data-driven technology solutions to aid planning and fighting against disease outbreaks. Helium Health is playing an important role in building the digital infrastructure that will power world-class healthcare services across emerging markets. Thanks again, Tito. Now, our next fireside chat is on the entrepreneurial journey, taking the road less traveled. The conversation will be between Odunayo Eweniyi, the co-founder and Chief Operating Officer of PiggyVest, Babs Ogundeyi, co-founder and CEO of Kuda, and Bolaji Balogun, the founder and Chief Executive Officer of Chapel Hill Denham, Vice Chairman of the Endeavor Nigeria Board, founder and keen investor in the startup ecosystem. Odunayo leads PiggyVest, and PiggyVest is on a mission to give everyone the power to better manage and grow their finances. Babs leads Kuda, a digital-led financial institution on a mission to make financial services more affordable, accessible, and rewarding for every African. Bolaji Balogun leads Chapel Hill Denham, Nigeria's leading independent investment banking firm. Chapel Hill focuses on sectors critical to Africa and Nigeria's economic development. Over to you, Bolaji Balogun. Damn, I didn't change my slide.
Let's understand where.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Balaji Balogun and what's his name? Babs Ogunde. Yep.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the session. Over to you, Fru.
I think over that. Turn off the camera. Or I can turn my. That's another checklist. Hide no video. So this is the camera.
You done with the outline? Send me the outline. Thanks, Odun, Babs, and Balaji Balogun for the conversation. Quotes. Thank you very much again. We'll now be starting the next session. Next up on the agenda, we have the second TED Style talk for today by Yamo Omoribe, the co-founder and chief operating officer of Bamboo. Her topic, Invest Now, the bills are never going to stop coming. Bamboo is an investment platform that is unlocking the limitless potential of global markets for Africans by providing real-time access to dollar-denominated investments right from their mobile phones or computers.
I want to tell you about Mary. Mary is a software engineer in Lagos, Nigeria, who used to earn 350,000 naira a month at her last job. That's about $700. I want to tell you about Mary. Mary is a software engineer in Lagos, Nigeria, who used to earn 350,000 naira a month at her last job. That's about $700, and felt like she was living paycheck to paycheck with just enough money to cover her essentials. She had done the math and calculated that if she tripled her income to $2,000 a month, she would finally feel rich and have enough money to do all the fancy things she wanted to do. Then 10 months ago, fortune smiled upon Mary, and she got a new job with an international client paying her almost $5,000 a month, more than double her target income. But then the craziest thing seems to be happening. Mary still doesn't feel rich. She seems to need every dollar of her current $5,000 income to maintain her lifestyle, which she doesn't think is expensive. What's happening to Mary is Parkinson's law in action. Parkinson's law says that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. Or, in the case of money, expenses will always rise to meet income. This means that no matter how much money a person makes, it never seems to be enough, because as long as there's money available, expenses will continue to increase and they will tend to spend all of their income, if not more. We can only become truly financially independent when we learn to resist the powerful urge to spend every dime we make and cultivate the habit of saving and, more importantly, investing a significant percentage of our income regularly. When we talk about building wealth in Africa, a lot of the focus is on earning more money and increasing savings. However, earning more money is often not enough of a fix because most people also start spending more money. With saving, the main goal is to accumulate money and keep it safe. Saving is a great way to get into the habit of putting money aside and gathering money for big purchases or emergencies. The problem, though, is that when you save, at best, the return you earn is just enough to protect your money from the effects of inflation. This makes savings on its own a very difficult path to building wealth. If we're going to beat Parkinson's law and build real wealth, then saving and investing need to happen simultaneously. When we invest, we're able to sit back and let our money work to make us even more money. The way I think about it is this: you spend today to meet short-term goals, you save to meet medium-term goals, but you invest to take care of your future. In the words of Robert Allen, one of the most influential investment advisors in the US, how many millionaires do you know who have become
You know, like put it like this and stream straight to YouTube. Like that's what just happened. Yeah, more for an insightful video. I think, yeah, thanks, Yama, for an insightful video. Saving is great. However, to see significant returns, investments should be considered. Another interesting point you made, Yama made, was spending needs short-term goals, saving needs medium-term goals, and investing takes care of the future. At the end of the day, we can all be investors, and we should all be investors. Thanks again, Yanmo. Now, for our next fireside chat of the day, we'll have Tosin Enyorlorunda, the founder and chief executive officer of Team Act, Pedro Conrad, co-founder and chief executive officer of Neon, and Justin Norman, founder of The Flip. They will be discussing a vision for financial freedom for emerging and frontier markets. Tosin leads Team Act, a financial software company focused on building solutions for businesses and individuals to manage their money. Pedro leads Neon, a Brazilian fintech company with a mission to unite technology and design to simplify people's financial experience, in addition to helping them to better manage their money. Tosin and Pedro are Endeavor entrepreneurs. Justin is the founder of The Flip, a podcast and newsletter exploring relevant insights from entrepreneurs changing the status quo in Africa. He's also an investor in Rally Cap Ventures, an angel community investing in emerging market fintech. Over to you, Justin.
Hi, Pedro and what's the other person's name? Anita. Tusin. Hi, Pedro and Tusin. Welcome to this session.
What's today's topic?
A vision of financial freedom for emerging African.
Oh, great. Good to know.
What's your take?
So that vision is very bright. I think it's a good, it's a good vision. Thank you, Endeavor, for championing that vision.
Okay, okay.
All right. Thank you, Ife. I said Ife. Good. Because you said Ife. Please don't make me. Thank you, Tosin, Pedro, and Justin for the conversation. Summary.
You're thinking in your household.
That's very true. Okay, now just before our last fireside chat, we will now watch the third and final TED Style talk by Tomilola Majekumi, the co-founder. I can hear you. The co-founder and chief executive officer of Bankly. She will be discussing financial inclusion, the search for alpha and impact. Bankly is the bank of the unbanked, the banks of the unbanked, meeting the needs of financially excluded by providing personal and technological touchpoints they require to digitize their cash and grow their income. Tomi is also a part of the first cohort of the Endeavor Nigeria Scale-Up program. For context, the Endeavor Scale-Up is an accelerator program for the next generation of high-impact entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Through the program, Endeavor is providing 4 startups with access to mentorship, capital, and a strong peer network of high-impact entrepreneurs who have scaled their businesses. Tomi's TED Style talk will start shortly.
I grew up in Ogba, a low-income suburb in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. During a recent drive through the neighborhood, I visited a local shop I used to frequent. Not much seemed to have changed in over 8 years. No growth, no expansion. Sharing my thoughts with the owner, Bosse, she didn't miss the chance to onboarding and share her challenges with respect to accessing capital to grow a business, and when she does, it is from local informal lenders with rates as high as 60% per annum, making growth impossible. Now look around you. You will find millions of Bosse, stagnated and unable to grow, being in a constant state of frustration and poverty. 90% of transactions in Nigeria is in cash. This cash-driven behavior excludes them from accessing useful financial products that can increase productivity, drive economic growth, and alleviate poverty. Fintech is arguably one of the fastest growing sectors in Nigeria, yet the pace of financial inclusion remains sluggish. Cash is still king. This is not just the case in Nigeria, but in most African countries. According to the World Bank, 43% of sub-Saharan Africans are financially included, but 95% of retail transactions are in cash. There seems to be a disconnect with the pace of investment versus the pace of inclusion, and this disconnect can be attributed to the constant battle to balance alpha with impact. Alpha can be defined as the excess return to be earned on an investment, and it is often as a result of active and conscious investing. Fintech growth depends on access to capital, whether early stage capital to prove the viability of the business or growth capital to achieve scale and sustainability. To achieve this balance, an impact-focused fintech needs the right type of capital. To focus on a largely ignored segment, as Bankley is doing, education and distribution.
Thanks, Tommy, for sharing with us.
Thank you, Joy is here.
Key insights are providing access to personal and technological touchpoints is only the first step towards financial inclusion. There is a lot of work to be done to educate people about the benefits of financial services products, which can boost their productivity and earning power. We are excited about the journey that Tommy and her team are embarking on at Bankley. Now, the final fireside chat for today. The topic, raising a unicorn, the journey from startup to unicorn. This conversation is between Ife Orioke, the Chief Commercial Officer of Flutterwave, Adolfo Babat Torres, the Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Clip, and Yinka Adegoke, the Editor for Strategic Initiatives at Rest of World. Ife is an Endeavor entrepreneur, and he's responsible for the overall financial and commercial strategy and direction at Flutterwave. Flutterwave is a payment technology company that helps businesses all over the world expand their operations in Africa and other emerging markets. Adolfo is also an Endeavor entrepreneur. Adolfo leads Clip. Clip is Mexico's leading solution for small and medium businesses to accept digital payments. And finally, Yinka, he's the editor for strategic initiatives. He's the editor for strategic initiatives at Rest of World, a publication that covers the impact and influence of technology on people, businesses, and economies in emerging markets. Over to you, Yinka.
Hi, Adolfo and Ife.
Thank you, Mr. Yinka. I've been looking forward to this about unicorns.
Yeah, so how did you start the journey into from startup to unicorn? Can you tell us your entrepreneurial story?
Yeah, so we started from the bottom, and now I'm here. So I remember I didn't have slippers. I used to walk around the neighborhood bare feet. But look at me now. I mean, I have so many Zanottes and Christian Louboutins and stuff like that. You know, it's an interesting journey. And, I'm glad we're here. Adolfo, do you have anything
What
to
does
say?
it feel like leading a billion-dollar company?
It's a dream come true. And every day I still can't believe I'm the one leading this company. I mean, but I have to believe it at some point. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys.
All right, we're coming.
Thank you, Adolfo, Ife, and Yinka, for the conversation. Quote, 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 yada, yada, yada. What give us a report maybe? We need more unicorns. And then the last thing on today's agenda is the closing remarks by Mr. Tedo Peterside, CON, Chairman of the Endeavor Nigeria Board and founder of Anet Business Jets.
Okay,
Yeah.
So you'd already like introduced them. Yeah. Okay, you said something. Oh, okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for this year's Catalyzing Conversations. I'm sure you've had an enriching experience and learned why the multiplier effect is crucial to economic growth. I would like to especially thank our sponsors, Chapel Hill Denham, Stanbic IBTC Holdings, and VFD Group. I would also like to thank our Endeavor entrepreneurs, Pedro Conrade, Adolfo Babats Torres, and Gaurav Biswas, for joining us today, irrespective of their time zones. Thank you to the Nigerian entrepreneurs, Tito Ovia, Tosi and Eniola Runda, Ife Orioke, Ife Oyedele, and of course, Bolaji Balogun, Vice Chairman of Endeavor Nigeria Board, and all the other special speakers for your time and insightful sessions. Thank you to our media and ecosystem partners for supporting this event. Thank you to all our guests who dialed in from all over the world, our mentors and board members. Last but not least, thank you Tosin Faniro Dada and the Endeavor Nigeria team for putting together a successful, rich, and immersive event. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you for being a part of Catalyzing Conversations 2021. We truly hope you've had an enriching experience. You will now receive a 1-minute survey to get your feedback on today's events. To remind you, all sessions from today will be available on Endeavor Nigeria YouTube channel tomorrow. To keep up with what we do at Endeavor, please follow us on socials at Endeavor Nigeria. Remember, dream big, scale up, and pay it forward. See you again next year.
And you say thinking big now.
Say thinking big.
You said before the ending. What's up, your video, your audio?